Hi all and welcome to yet another session of Basics of Electricity. The essence of mathematics is not to make simple things complicated but to make complicated things simple. So true, quoted by an American mathematician. And so, as students of physical science, when we are dealing with networks and we are going to get involved in much mathematical calculations, we must not get indulged too much into the infinite world of the mathematics, but limit ourselves to the finite existence of the material sciences which we are dealing with and the physical concepts which are being explained with the help of mathematics. So let us start today's session. So we list out the important technical terms pertaining to circuits and networks. There will be a lot of methods discussed which are used for solving circuits, and at the end of the video we will solve one example, so watch till the end. Some of the frequently used terminologies which we come across when we talk about circuits is a network. So what is a network? It's an arrangement of various energy sources along with different circuit elements. Resistors, capacitors and inductors are the basic ones, but there are also circuits, electronic circuits, which involve semiconductor devices. Apart from them, there is a term called active element, passive element. Then what is a node? These terminologies can be very well understood if you can see a circuit diagram and we know to locate where these elements are. So if we look at a circuit here, a random circuit, a basic typical ladder circuit which has two voltage sources of V1 and V2, and there are resistive elements in this circuit. Now a node has been shown here and it has been labeled as A, B, C, D, E, F. These are the nodal points. So node is that point where the branches meet. Now what is a branch? That part of the network which lies between two junction points. For example, in this case A, B, B, C, B, E, which contains some element. It may be a resistor, or in other cases it may be a combination of resistor and inductor, or resistor, inductor, capacitor, will be known as a branch. And the point of junction of many such branches, more than two branches, is known as a node. What is a mesh? A set of branches which forms a closed loop in which no element is encountered twice. In this case, you can label the mesh as A, B, E, F, A. This is one mesh. Another mesh is B, C, D, E, B. The networks can be classified according to their behavior. So a linear network is that in which the voltage and current follow a linear relationship, and Ohm's law can be applied to such network. These networks mean that even if there is a change of voltage, time and temperature, the resistances, capacitances and inductances do not change and they are constant. Non-linear network, on the other hand, involve mostly elements like transistors, diodes, other semiconductor devices, saturated core, inductor, which do not follow a linear voltage and current relationship. So Ohm's law is not possible to apply to such circuits. Bilateral network, whose behavior is same even if the direction of current is reversed through its elements. A purely resistive network is one of the best examples. Unilateral network, in which if the direction of current changes through the element, the behavior of the element is different. One classic example of such a network is a diode network. So diode is a device which conducts only in one direction of current. If the direction of current through a diode is reversed, it does not conduct. That's a non-conduction period for it. So such networks are known as unilateral network. Human brains can comprehend better with visions. So we have always known the flow of water through the pipes and can easily judge how much water is going to flow by looking at the diameter of the pipes. So here is a representation of a pipeline diagram which can be looked as a circuit diagram as well. So electric circuits are very analogous to water circuits. The path which has least resistance will conduct more current, and the path which has maximum resistance will conduct the least amount of current. So whenever there is a confusion and you do not know how to divide the current, you must always remember that the narrow pipes will conduct lesser water and the broader pipes with bigger diameter will conduct more water, will let more water to pass through them, and the same applies to the electric circuit as well. So what is a network analysis? When do you say that a network is solved completely? So it is considered to be solved when all the currents through all the elements and the voltage across them can be determined. Now, as the students of basic electricity earlier, you have already known about series parallel reduction of resistances in the circuit, and you also very well know the application of Ohm's law to any basic circuit. From here on, we will finally see that these two basic laws are applied to any kind of network solution. To begin with, we look at a current divider rule, a circuit with three parallel resistors connected across a voltage supply and a total of I current flowing, and naturally at the junction the currents divide themselves. Now if the resistances of these paths are different, naturally they will allow lesser and more current through them respectively according to their resistive nature. So how do you find out the proportion of current flowing through each of these paths? So a mathematical formula has already been derived and this has been just listed out. So this is much of an application. I have not gone into the derivation details of these rules, but I have just stated the application formula so that we can directly apply to the network analysis circuits when we go to the mathematical explanations to them. So you can always come back and refresh your knowledge about the formulae. A voltage divider circuit, the rule is the ratio of the voltages equating with the ratio of the resistances. So each element, the ratio of each element of the resistor and the effective resistance can be equated with the ratio of the voltages, and the voltage drop across each element individually can be found out even if you do not know anything about the current flowing through the circuit. That is the beauty of the voltage divider rule. Kirchhoff's law is very well known. I have just stated here the KCL, that is the sum of all the incoming current at a node is equal to sum of all the outgoing currents at that node, showing that the algebraic sum of all the current at any particular node is equal to 0 finally. So this can be applied very well to the circuits. Second part of Kirchhoff's law is the KVL, or the Kirchhoff's voltage law, in which the law of conservation of energy is the basis on which this KVL has been derived. So if there is a mesh or a loop and you start from the EMF source, the positive end, and go around the loop, walking and coming to the far end, the negative end of the supply, you will see that whatever energy has been given by the EMF source is expelled through all the elements that you pass through, thus showing that the sum of all the voltage drop and the EMF in a particular loop finally comes to zero. KVL involves the knowledge of the assumption of branch currents and then finding out the simultaneous equations and equating them and then finding out the branch current. Now that method is very tedious as it ends up into a lot of unknowns, which becomes a mathematical mess if the circuit is not a simple one. So Maxwell's loop current method is actually an enhancement to reduce the mathematical equations. Independent equations are reduced to be solved, making it easier, and therefore the chances of committing mistake are also reduced. So the method is same, both involve KVL, only a single loop current is assumed instead of different branch currents, and eliminating the use of different unknowns, and instead keeping the unknowns lesser so that less mistakes are committed. Nodal analysis applies very well, and it is very popular, especially in electronic circuits, where there are many parallel branches of elements which have a common ground or reference node, as it is stated here. So the nodes of the circuits are located, and equations of KCL are written. This method uses the use of Kirchhoff's current law to write the simultaneous equations and solving them. So I have not gone into the detail of writing equations in nodal analysis. We will see how it is applied when we look at a numerical example further on. Here we come to one solved example. So before I give you the solution to this problem, pause the video right now and try to solve it yourself before you can look at my solution. So here I have assumed that a 2I amount of current enters and leaves the two farthest terminals of the circuit, and I consider a loop AXDFXB a part of this circuit after I've determined all the currents of all the branches by current divider rule. So in this loop, I'm able to apply KVL very conveniently because I have already found out how much current is flowing through the resistors in this loop, that is 30, 10 and 30 ohms. So once I can apply KVL, I have found out an equation of E. After that, again, I assume that there is an effective resistance R which needs to be found out at the end of this problem example. And this can be easily again written by applying the equation of EMF, which is equal to E is equal to 2IR. This is equation number 2. So when I equate the two equations which I have found independently, I can find out the only unknown here, which is the value of the effective resistance R. You can compare your answers. If you have any doubts regarding the current division rule applied to this circuit, you can write to me in the comment section, and I can elaborate on how the current has been divided, although it is pretty simple to see and apply the current divider rule. So we will solve more examples based upon whatever methods we have listed out in today's video. So to not miss the next upcoming video, stay informed by pressing the bell icon and subscribing to my channel. Thank you for watching the video. If there are any queries then please mail me at electroshots.sessions@gmail.com. If you have liked the video, please like and share with all the learners that you know around you and spread the word to maximum people. And to remain updated and informed about my upcoming video, please subscribe to the channel and ring the bell icon. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy, and keep learning.